Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events from around the world. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. Today, we're looking at a significant speech given by Pope Leo to Spain's parliament. The Pope addressed the legislators in Madrid, warning that the world is in a profound crisis due to escalating conflict, deepening polarization, and widespread disregard for human rights. He emphasized the need for global leaders to work towards ending wars and helping migrants, rather than increasing military spending. The Pope's speech was a rare papal address to a national legislature and marked a significant moment in his visit to Spain. He has been meeting with migrants and the homeless and calling on national leaders to stop dividing their electorates. The Pope also highlighted the importance of addressing the root causes of migration, including war, poverty, and climate change. In his speech, the Pope expressed concern about the rise in European military spending, which he described as troubling. He urged politicians to prioritize diplomacy and peace-building efforts over military action. The Pope also defended the importance of religious freedom and the privacy of the Catholic seal of confession. The Pope's visit to Spain has been marked by a focus on social justice and human rights. He has met with victims of clerical abuse and has spoken out about the need for greater accountability within the Catholic Church. The Vatican has announced that the Pope will meet with a group of victims during his visit, although details of the meeting have not been released. The Pope's speech to Spain's parliament is just one part of a larger conversation about the role of global leaders in addressing the world's most pressing challenges. As we continue to follow this story, we'll be exploring the implications of the Pope's words and the responses from world leaders. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into the world of international politics, where Armenia has just held a pivotal election. Nikol Pashinyan, the current prime minister, has secured a historic victory with his civil contract party receiving 49.8% of the vote. This win is seen as a significant moment for the country, which has been navigating a complex geopolitical landscape. Pashinyan's campaign focused on bringing peace to the region, particularly in relation to the disputed territory of Nagorno-Karabakh, which has been occupied by Azerbaijan. However, advancing the peace process will require broader political backing, including constitutional amendments that would formally remove Armenian claims to the territory. These amendments need a two-thirds majority in parliament, making the next National Assembly more competitive and potentially more polarized. The European Union has welcomed Pashinyan's re-election, with leaders such as Ursula von der Leyen and Antonio Costa congratulating him on his victory. The EU has been supporting Armenia's democratic development and sees the country as a significant partner in the region. However, Russia has also been actively engaged in Armenia, with allegations of disinformation campaigns and interference in the election process. It's essential to note that Armenia's relationship with both the EU and Russia is complex, with the country seeking to balance its economic and security interests. Pashinyan's government will likely continue to maintain its membership in the Russia-led Eurasian Economic Union, while also deepening ties with the EU. As we analyze this development, it's crucial to consider the perspectives of all parties involved. The Armenian people have spoken, and their choice reflects a desire for stability and cooperation with the international community. However, the path forward will require careful navigation of the country's relationships with its neighbors and global powers. The implications of this election extend beyond Armenia's borders, as it may impact the broader regional dynamics and the balance of power in the South Caucasus. As we continue to monitor the situation, it's clear that Armenia's democratic journey is far from over. Welcome back to Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, let's take a look at some significant diplomatic developments in East Asia. Chinese President Xi Jinping has made his first visit to North Korea in 7 years, marking a notable effort by China to reassert its influence in the region. This trip comes at a time when North Korea has been strengthening its ties with Russia, particularly through its support of Russia's war efforts in Ukraine. During his visit, President Xi is expected to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to discuss a range of issues, including economic cooperation and regional security. China has long been North Korea's closest ally and main trading partner, providing crucial economic and diplomatic support. However, the relationship between the two nations has experienced some tension in recent years, partly due to North Korea's growing ties with Russia. Experts suggest that Xi's visit is an attempt to restore China's exclusive influence over North Korea, which could provide Beijing with leverage in its dealings with the United States. The U.S. has been seeking to restart diplomatic talks with North Korea, which have been stalled since 2019. Meanwhile, China has been cautious about enforcing international sanctions on North Korea, instead opting to provide clandestine aid to help its impoverished neighbor. The visit also highlights the complex geopolitical dynamics at play in Northeast Asia. As the region continues to navigate the challenges of great power competition, diplomatic visits like this one serve as important reminders of the intricate web of alliances and interests that shape international relations. Xi's trip to North Korea underscores the enduring importance of personal diplomacy in international affairs. The ability of leaders to build relationships and negotiate directly can often make a significant difference in resolving conflicts and advancing mutual understanding. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.